Hey y'all, welcome to Book with Keba, the podcast where we talk about books, reading culture, and all opinions that come with being emotionally attached to fictional characters. I'm your host, Keba. Whether you're reading on a Kindle, listening to an audiobook, or trying to get out of a reading slump, you're in the right place. Let's get booked. Today, we're going to be talking about something I know a lot of readers have strong opinions about. One-star reviews. Are they too harsh? Are they necessary? Or some readers just giving one star because they're angry. Because I love reading reviews. Sometimes I'll finish a book and immediately go looking at what everyone else thought. And some of these one-star reviews, they are hilarious. Not necessarily because the book was bad, but because sometimes I'm sitting there thinking, what exactly are we reviewing here? You'll see somebody give a very fictional situation, which we read fictional books like myself, and they were saying it was not realistic. Mama, it's fantasy. Please remember, these situations may not happen. Nobody is expecting an ordinary girl that has nothing, never associate herself with the mafia going to be getting kidnapped by a mafia boss. Come on. And these things, they can happen in real life, but the chances are very slim to none. So we have to be like, hey, this is fictional, to go and touch grass. And that's where I really want to start this conversation because I don't think one-star reviews are automatically bad. I think it's how we use that one star that matters. Here's something about my reading journey that might surprise you. I've never given a book a one star. I've never given a book a two-star either. My lowest is usually a three. And I don't think a three-star is bad. For me, a three-star book means I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. Maybe the pacing wasn't great. Maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind, so it was not connecting with me. Maybe the characters weren't fully developed. Maybe the ending didn't completely work for me. And I've read books where the ending was just totally bizarre for me. But there was something there that made me finish it. And honestly, I think I've been fortunate with the books I've chosen. I found authors and genres that I really enjoy, so I don't find myself constantly picking up books that I absolutely hate. And if a book is really bad for me, I'm going to DNF it. This is something that I've always wondered if it's bad, why did you finish it? If you're reading a book and you're absolutely miserable, why are you still reading it? No, everyone reads differently, and some people hate DNFing. Like myself back in the days, I have to finish the book, but again, I keep on saying that I try to vet my books as best as possible before I start reading them. Some people feel like once they start a book, they have to finish it. My reading time is very valuable. There are hundreds of books sitting in my TBR waiting for me, so if something isn't working for me these days, I'm going to be putting it down. A soft DNF is not a bad idea. And that's why when I see somebody finish 400-page book and then said, this was a complete waste of my time, and like you had 400 pages to figure out that. Come on. But where are we reviewing? And here's where it gets interesting. I've seen people give one-star reviews to book that they didn't even finish. And I always want to ask, why are we reviewing? Because there's a difference between I'm saying I DNF this book because the writing style wasn't for me and saying the book deserved one star. Those aren't the same thing. And I was touched on this on the regards of what I would want to see in a review. Most people would want to see in a review why you DNF it. You know, it's not why you think it. Well, I guess it's a review in your own eyes, but it's not a very helpful review. If you stop reading 20 to 30%, that's completely okay. Maybe the book wasn't working for you, but you haven't experienced the entire story again. So I think we have to be honest about what we're actually reviewing. You can say, I didn't enjoy that what I read, so I decided not to finish. And that's fair. But reviewing an entire book that you did not finish, that's where I'm a little confused all the time when I see these reviews. Sometimes I'm like, did we read the same book? Have you ever finished a book that you absolutely love and then go to the reviews, go to Goodreads, and you'll be backing up 10 steps before you actually drop a review? Because some of the things that you definitely see be like, oh my gosh, did we read the same book? And somebody has given it a 1 star and you're reading their reviews like, wait, what's happening here? Because sometimes the reasoning makes no sense. This book is has too much word. It was too wordy. I've seen reviews like that. Here's one that says DNF at 60%. Good God, this book is a no. I wanted to like this so bad, but the author's writing didn't work for me at all. Luca is about the guy who released from prison 8 years. The heroine Ever is staying with her best friend, which is Luca's sister, after running away for 2 years running away with her two kids, from an abusive husband. Ever goes into her sister to pick up Luca from the prison and literally install her from there. Like they were having sex, long term discussion, in paying for her finances, all of those because they made googly eyes at each other. Absolutely unrealistic from a woman who stated that she was still traumatized from her marriage. She puts up a fight for like 2 seconds before falling into Luca's arm. Honestly, him trying to take care of her was not sexy like how it was presented to be. That's one of the reviews, and that's just part of it. And I've always said to myself, there's others that says, hey, her work is too wordy. It's a 2 star review. It's finally over. I don't have to read any more about seeds, delusional fake independent living, and love bombing and food exchange between mouths while kissing. I'm still traumatized. The amount of details for most mundane and unnecessary things were driving me insane. For some of the sentence alone felt long-winded, and I could tell it was trying to be reach a specific word count goal. The only reason I didn't lower my rating is because I think Kia voice in my head is a good throttle. And those are things that I have to sit down and I'm like, okay, those are 1 stars and 2 star reviews. People are saying this mafia book had too much violence and too little romance. It's a mafia book. And I think sometimes we have to consider what we're actually picking up. If you choose a dark romance, you shouldn't necessarily expect sweet, fluffy love story. You pick up fantasy, can't be shocked when the book isn't realistic and you see dragons flying and disappearing. If you're reading an interconnected urban romance series, you're probably going to get drama. And that's part of the genre. And I think so many persons are taking up these authors' work without actually researching it or checking out the reviews, and then they come and they give their criticism like, oh, this is how the author writes. I guess that's a part of it. Is it criticism or just plain cruelty? No, let me be very clear. I don't think authors should be protected from criticism. If you publish a book, readers are allowed to have opinions, and not everyone is going to love your characters, and not everyone is going to love your writing, not everyone is going to like your ending. That's part of being an author, and I think honest criticism is important. There's a difference between criticism and cruelty. And if your reviews say the pacing was so slow for me, I didn't, or I didn't connect with this character fair. The ending didn't work for me because the main conflict wasn't resolved. That's actually helpful. But when the entire review, this book is trash, okay, but why? What happened? What made it trash? Was it the writing, the plot? Was it the characters? Was it the pacing? Was it the editing? Was it the ending? Tell me something. Because if I'm another reader trying to decide whether I should read this book, the review hasn't helped me. And if I'm an author, you've given me nothing that I can actually learn from. And this is where I want to make something very clear. I actually think a good 1 star review can be very valuable. You can absolutely hate a book and explain why. And you can say, I gave this 1 star because the characters weren't developed. The pacing was extremely slow, and there was several plot holes, and the ending feel rushed. Now I understand. I might completely disagree with you, but I understand your reasoning, and that's what a review should do. Give another reader some context because maybe I don't mind slow pacing. Maybe I love characters driven story. Maybe the thing that bother you are the things that I actually enjoy. That's useful information. I think we also need to normalize saying this book wasn't for me because that's the difference from saying this is a terrible book. You can read something and not connect with it, either due to a bookish slump that you're getting into, the frame of mind that you're into. It can be several things. You can dislike the characters, you hate the ending, you can think the writing wasn't for you, and that's okay. That doesn't automatically mean that the book has no value. Someone else might read the same book and absolutely fall in love with it. And that's the beauty of reading. You can read the exact same story and have a complete different experience. For me, it is not really the one star. It's the one star that becomes an excuse to bash the book, the author, or other readers, especially when the review doesn't actually explain anything. Because sometimes I'm reading these reviews thinking maybe we didn't read the same book. And I'm not saying that every book I've loved is perfect. Absolutely not. But if I'm going to criticize something, I want it to be able to explain why. And I think that's the difference between being critically and just being hateful. Honestly, I don't think every book deserves a 5 star, and I don't think readers should be afraid to give honest opinions and reviews. I think authors should expect every reader to love their work. That's ridiculous. If you're going to give a book 1 star, tell me why. Give me something. Give the author something to work with. Tell them that it didn't work. What didn't work for you? Tell them what disappoints you. Tell them what you expect and didn't get. Tell them why you couldn't connect with the story because that gives your review value. For me, reading is supposed to be enjoyable. And I'm not going to force myself through a book just so I can give it a 1 star. If I don't like it enough to continue, I'll probably DNF it. And if I finish it, I give it a 3 star. That doesn't mean I hate it. It means it simply wasn't a 5 star experience for me. And that's okay. I think sometimes we forget that a review is supposed to be an opinion and not a weapon. You don't have to destroy a book just because you didn't enjoy it. You don't have to convince everyone else that the book is terrible. Just tell us what you experienced because somebody else might love the exact thing you hated. So, no, I want to hear from you. Have you ever given a book a 1 star? If you have, what made you give it that rating? Or would you rather DNF a book that you finish something that you absolutely hate? Here's a bigger question. Do you think a 1 star review should be explained or simply dislike a book enough? Let me know because I have a feeling that we're going to have some very different opinions on this one. But thank you so much for spending another episode with me here on Book with Keba. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to follow the podcast and share with another reader who has strong opinions about book reviews. Until next time, happy reading and stay booked.